All right. So apparently I've pissed some people off. Just a few, though. I see all you supporters out there. I'm actually here at the emergency room. Me and my buddy were riding tonight. It's his first day back on the bike in like 5 years. And he overshot a jump at Amp and cracked his ribs and stuff like that. So you can see the backdrop to this is the emergency room here in Westlake. But I want to kind of touch on this whole sandbagging thing and bring some context to it. I'm going to post this video up. So I decided to this year kind of do some different type of racing. Oddball bikes and oddball classes. The theme of it is what can good technique or focusing on good technique do for you? Is it about the bike completely? And trying to kind of just shed light to people that, i.e., are buying the $10,000 to $15,000 dirt bikes and not working on progressing on the bike and not working on their technique, not focusing on the things that keep them safe, all that stuff, right? So that's kind of the theme, right? And obviously we veer off track. We make decisions to do stuff for fun. We do stuff for entertainment, right? The stuff's going to go on YouTube. And so there's different objectives. But what we're dealing with right now is about 185 comments on a post that said this exactly. 2014 qualified for Houston Supercross, which I qualified for the night show and didn't make the main, to correct you there. Also, multiple top 10 finishes in arena cross. I've only raced 2 arena crosses ever. And then another one was qualified for multiple outdoor nationals, which is true. But my last time I qualified for an outdoor national was 2012. That was a decade ago. That Houston Supercross that you're referring to was 2014. That was 8 years ago. And the last competitive race that I really did was 2017 plus 25 class at Loretta Lynn's. Okay, plus 25. And so I haven't really raced, maybe like 1 or 2 local races between 2017 and 2022. I maybe raced 3, 4 times, 5 times max. And just local, getting on the track, riding the A class. Okay, A class or open money is what they would call it. There was a class or plus 25 or plus 30. And mind you, I'm not winning all of those races. It's not like I'm going out there and dominating every single thing, right? And so I decided to race some wood stuff. The initial idea was to race a Ducati because I was going to go race a Ducati in the desert. I was going to go race the Mint 400 and a couple Heron Hounds out in California. Well, the first race I come to on the Ducati, mind you, is 500 pounds and very wide and very uncomfortable. I signed up in the open B class, okay? And let me just go ahead and go on record. I don't care about any points, the trophies, none of that. I've burned more trophies than I can even count. And that's not what I'm there for, okay? And so I signed up for the open B class. The bike broke going into corner 3. I don't know the level of competition. I don't understand that. It's my first race. So I signed up in that class. I go get my 125. Obviously, my lap times were faster than the open B class, but I never, ever would have signed up in that class. On a 125, I would probably just sign up in the pro class on a 125 as it's a little closer to being competitive. Okay, fast forward a couple weeks to the next race, which is at the sand, OTT ranch, another hare scramble, another 70-minute race in the sand. So I ask on social media, on the page that that a few people are complaining about, what class should I ride? And the answer, a lot of them were, this class. There's a few pros in there. There's a few A's in there, open A's, a few 250A's. And so I chose to ride 250A. And in the world that I come from, 250A is a very fast class. For instance, there's a race this weekend coming up, a Texas Winter Series race. If I were to go sign up in the 250A class for where I'm at with my riding right now, I probably wouldn't even get top 5. I wouldn't be competitive for the lead. So again, my ignorance to this realm of riding put me in the 250A class. I get 3rd off the start, and I'm going to give a little context on the bike. I signed up in that class knowing that class wasn't the pro class because I'm, in my opinion, not in shape for the pro class. In my opinion, I am not ready to race at the front of the pack the pro class, and I don't have a bike that I would be competitive on in the pro class, right? And so I decided to go 250A. There's 250A, Open A, Pro. Open A and 250A are kind of the same. So for me to take the next step, I would be jumping into the pro class. I signed up on a Kalex 300. Let me give you some quick stats. It's 290 pounds dry. So with a full tank of gas, you're looking at over 300 pounds. It's 33 horsepower. And so when you look at 33 horsepower and 300 pounds in the sand, in the knobbies, the tires are awful, the suspension's awful, it like bottoms out on every bump. I felt like that was a pretty good place for me to be competitive inside the top 5, and I was right. I got like almost dead last off the start, but passed a bunch of people around the outside of a corner, came into the first part of the woods in 3rd, quickly made past to the lead on the first lap, and the guy in 2nd was on me basically the whole race. Like, I could hear him on me, almost made a pass here and there a couple times, right? And so it wasn't like I was gapping the field, and it wasn't like that I was just riding at a speed that no one in that class could manage. There was a guy who, you'll find out, ended up passing me and taking off. So I ride the whole race, things happen, I get passed on the last lap, I get 2nd. Okay, all good. It was torturous, and I'm telling you guys, it was very hard to ride that bike on that track for 70 minutes. I was ready to be done on the last lap. And so we get through the race, everything's good, and then there's a random post on Facebook today, you know, keyboard warriors on the Facebook and stuff like that, saying that, you know, basically naming off my stats, that I was sandbagging the class. And in my opinion, I wasn't sandbagging the class. In my opinion, I signed up in a class that, one, I knew was faster than the last class I signed up for, and that I was on an inferior bike, and I'm just going to have fun and going to make videos and going to do my thing, right? So point being of this whole thing, like, there's like probably going to be 200, by the time this video comes out, over 200 comments on that thread. My point is, like, to make noise inside that series, bring a new perspective to that series, bring a new light to the series, kind of spice things up a little bit, show people that, like, if you have good technique, you can ride all disciplines. I don't know where that puts me in that discipline. I think I could probably do well in the 450 class. I don't think I could win the 450 or the pro class. I don't think I could win the pro class, but I think I could do well on a bike that is good. And so anyways, I think if I could give you guys any perspective on where I'm at on the whole deal is, one, I don't agree with a few people that say I'm sandbagging. That's their opinion. They can take it for what it is. I think that it was a competitive race. I didn't win the race. And when I'm on a competitive bike, I'll move up to the class that everyone thinks that I should be in, or the couple people think I should be in. But I think that if we could take one thing from it, we probably should be focusing on how to make ourselves better riders, right? And if we don't focus on that, we focus on trying to move people out of the class that are better than us, what are we really doing? Like, what are we doing? We're just basically making an excuse for ourselves, being the rider that we are. And even one of the guys in the comments, like, one of the guys suggested a lesson with me, and whether if the guy doesn't like me because I rode his class, that's fine. He's like, no, I'd rather pass. But maybe go on a lesson with someone else that you might not have your feelings hurt over, right? And try to get better. And maybe you are trying to get better. Maybe I'm totally off base on this, but I don't see that mentality going too far. I don't see the mentality of, poor me, I got beat by a guy that was on a slower bike that's mocking me. I wasn't mocking you. I don't know you. I'm not there to make anyone's feelings hurt. I'm there to have fun and make a show and make some cool videos and be entertainment and show people that technique is important to make you safer and faster. And I think I did that, you know, mission accomplished. So anyways, that's my rant. I'm going to go back. I'm going to race weird bikes. I'm going to go back and probably race 250A class again, and maybe even Open A, and then maybe Pro, until the owner of the series says, hey, you're causing too much ruckus. You need to get out of here and only race Pro. And I just don't think it's fair to assume that someone on a 500-pound bike, i.e. the Ducati, should be racing the Pro class. I don't think it's competitive. I think I'll be getting in the way of the people behind me. I just don't think that because I raced professionally at one point, that no matter what bike or what point in my life I'm in, I should have to race Pro class. So anyways, those are my thoughts. Leave in the comments below what you guys think about all that. I can't wait to race more woods races and maybe make people mad. That's kind of what I've always spiced things up in my life, and I don't plan on doing that anymore. But I appreciate all the support from the people that were supportive, and we'll see you at the next Works race.